Hello, I'm Steven. Today I'm going to be doing an overview and review of my Fender Hot Rod Deluxe 4. So I've had this amp for about a year and a half. I got it in April 2021 from a local music store. I went in before I bought it, about a week or two before, so I wasn't doing an impulse purchase. I suggest everyone should go and try something and then give a break and feel if you actually need it. I do not regret buying it. I really like this amp. So I'll get into the specifics and the details later. If you want to jump to that, it'll be time stamped. I'll make it easy for you to go to the part of the video that you want. So let's get right into the demos. Moving on to the specifications. There's one 50-watt Celestial Type A speaker. It's positioned off-center to the left. If you shine a flashlight in there, you can definitely tell where it is, but it's definitely not right down the middle. The build quality of this amp, everything is beautifully made. Imagine a Rolls Royce if it was a Fender amp. Now I've never owned an amp of this caliber before, so it's a first, but bear with me. Everything has held up. It looks new, even after almost 2 years. The knobs are very nice. They have a nice cream color. They move very smoothly, and they have a nice weight to them. All of these switches click very nicely. Listen. Very nice sounds. Everything is very solid and has held up well. In the owner's manual, there's a section about changing the tubes after about 1,000 hours of playtime. I don't think I'm at that 1,000 hours threshold yet, but it still sounds brand new. The amp itself is going to last decades. This amp is not light. It's also not the heaviest amp. It's 40 pounds. Can be held in one hand. This amp should fit in most medium-sized trunks. The main thing is the height. On top you can see the carrying handle, very strong and sturdy feeling, very good build quality. And then on the front you have a beautiful mesh over the speakers, and a little Fender Hot Rod Deluxe metal plate. This amp comes with a couple accessories. There is a cover for the amp, there's a channel selector pedal, and a cable for that pedal. The instrument cable that the amp comes with is about 13 feet, and the power cable connected to the amp is about 7 feet. So who should buy this amp? I think you should buy this amp if you play in the realm of style of what I played in the demos. That's usually kind of what I play. Not too overdriven. You can get really nice jazz sound, clean guitar. I record lo-fi and chill instrumentals with it. Also good for blues music, country, folk guitar sound, rock and roll. I think the overdrive channel sounds very good. Even when I push it to quite very overdriven, it still sounds good, and it's not at all hard to find a good sound from this amp in almost any genre. I think this is a good amp for gigging. I know some people like to get smaller amps, but personally I don't really care about the weight or the size because the amp itself is worth it to me. If you're going to be playing only in your house, you could look at a smaller amp. But even then, if you are wanting this kind of amp, it's still great. The kind of threshold where the tubes kind of like kick in at about 2 volume is still good enough where you get the actual sound of the tubes. So it does not have to be loud at all to sound good. It goes up to 12. I usually keep it below 3. And if I'm playing loud, I'll put it up to 4. So definitely versatile in volume if you're gigging or just playing at home. If you've never owned a tube amp, there are some habits that you have to pick up. Not big ones, but I just mean if you turn on the amp, give it about 30 seconds to a minute before you activate the amp from the standby switch, just to let the tubes warm up. It's like a car. Give it a little bit of warm up before you start racing with it, you know? So if you're on a budget, and $1,000 on an amp is a lot, I would say go to the music store, play what is available. If you can spend the money, I would definitely suggest this amp if it is in the style of amp that you want. There are amps in this family from Fender, the smaller ones. I think the only downside personally to the smaller ones is they have less knobs, so there's less EQ. Some of them don't have overdrive channels. Some only have like 2 knobs, but I'm pretty sure they all have reverb, if that's a deal breaker. I know I didn't have a reverb on my other amp. I'm gonna make a comprehensive video on the tones that I get out of this amp, and I will also play the pedals that I have. I'm gonna put that at the top of the description, so definitely check that out if you're serious about getting this amp. I've also recorded music with this amp, very easy to work with. The background music of this video happens to be recorded on that amp, the guitar parts obviously. I've put the links in the description to my projects. They're on Spotify, Apple Music, everywhere if you want to listen. Alright, I think that wraps up this video. If you're in the market for this kind of amp, this is a very nice example. I would suggest if you can go try one, definitely try one. And I think it's worth the money. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.